Hey everybody, I'm Cameron Porter. Welcome back for How to Write a Script, Part Dos. If you missed Part 1, you really need to go back and watch Part 1 because if you don't do Part 1, this part's impossible, or at least very, very difficult. You need to do Part 1 first. That's where all the heavy lifting takes place. Then you can do this, and it becomes much easier. So as a quick review, in Part 1, you were asked two questions. One, what does your audience need to hear? And two, how do they need to hear it? So in order to answer those questions, you isolated who your audience is, you isolated what you wanted them to do as a result of watching your video, and then you started thinking, okay, in order to make that decision to do what you want them to do, what do they need to hear and how do they need to hear it? Writing a script is simply deciding upon what needs to be seen and what needs to be heard. Okay, that's it. That's all script writing is. You don't need to hop online and find screenplay templates, and you don't need to conform to industry standard formatting. That's fine. For what you're doing right now, really, you just need to isolate what is being seen and what is being heard at any given point during the video. So, in the first part, you've also decided, because you've thought about what your audience needs to hear and how they need to hear it, you'll have decided, okay, is this a 30-second video or is this a 2-minute video? Is this a 10-minute video? What's going on? So you know how long the video is going to be. So you can actually just open up a Word doc, make 2 columns, or even an Excel spreadsheet if you really wanted to. Make 2 columns, one for seen and one for heard. And then you just start at the very beginning. Write 0, 0, 0, because that's minutes and seconds, okay? What's being seen? 0, 0, 0. What's being heard? So the first thing you see, our company logo, okay? And what are we hearing? Nice music. Perfect. Awesome. Sounds great. Okay, now what's next? So that lasts for maybe what, 5 seconds? So at 0, 0, 5, now we are seeing our CEO. CEO talking to camera. And under heard, you might instinctively, you might want to put the same thing under heard, but actually you want to get more specific. So on heard, at 005, you're actually going to write what he's going to say. So here it's just CEO talking to camera because that's what we're seeing. Here it's, hello, welcome to our company's warehouse where we do all these wonderful things for wonderful people. Okay, so it's actually what he says. Okay, so that, and then you build the whole rest of the video this way. Things to consider, a couple things to keep in mind. If you want to do this, actually write out what he's going to say because it informs your decisions over here. If your CEO is talking about how wonderful your manufacturing process is, then you know that over here, okay, we need some shots of our manufacturing process. Make sure that the images that the people are seeing and the words that they are hearing reinforce each other. That's big. So keep that in mind, that they need to reinforce each other. Another good thing to keep in mind, the average person speaks at 3 words per second. Okay? So if your CEO is going to say 30 words here, you know that you need to cover around 10 seconds. Now, it doesn't always play out exactly that way, but it's always close. So if you've got 30 words here, you've got 10 seconds of footage you got to cover. And 5 of that can be just the CEO talking. It can be this first part, and then you have 1 B-roll clip that you cut to for the second half. Very simple, straightforward things like that. That's basically what you do. You build it all the way out to 2 minutes, and then once you've got that, you can, if you're unconfident about it, if you're worried about it, I would recommend going online to find stock photos or stock videos, and just for an experiment, download those photos or videos that represent the different shots, that look basically like the shots that you want to get. Throw them into your video editing software, record yourself speaking, saying all of the things that are going to be said, reading this whole column, and then pair them up, put them together. So you kind of, in the industry, we call that a previs or a pre-visualization. So that would be a way to say, okay, well, this flows well, this does not flow well. Oh, actually, this would be better if we moved it, if we swapped these 2 sections and said this first and then said this. You can make those decisions. And really, that's an extra step that will make it extra better. But if you don't, I mean, if you're already comfortable with the way the script is written, you don't need to take that step. If you have done step 1, this is easy. You already know what they need to hear, so it goes much, much quicker if you have already done step one. So that's it. That is how to write a script. It's really not that complicated. It does take practice, and we do some other things that here at Robin Hood Studios for the professional stuff that we are charging people a lot of money to do. But for what you're doing, I mean, this is going to put you above 95% of the stuff you see other people doing. So you're going to do really good if you stick to this. Good luck. We'll see you next week.